Example right here. Coding, mostly there's three things you need to know. Output. They'll ask you what, so like they'll tell you, you're gonna read off some steps of a program, and then likely they will ask you what is the output. So at the end, when you press enter and run, what will it show? Okay. Loop. What loops are is like keep doing this until. That's what loops are. So you're telling the computer to keep doing this until ... Okay, so you're telling the computer, you're telling the program to do that. Okay, the third type, conditional statements. All right, conditional statements is if this happens, then ... or else ... Okay, so these are the three. So this is answer basically. What's the answer? Okay, so in grade 9, math, the three types of coding that we're going to be doing are these three throughout the semester: output, loop, and conditional statements. Again, we're not going to use a specific program to program these. A lot of this is based on logic. So we can take a look at the first example. Okay, first example right here. So let's say the code here. We tell the program set number 1 to 17, set number 2 to 23. If, so you see the conditional statement, if, else. Okay, if number 1 is greater than number 2, then your output is going to be number 1 is bigger than number 2. Otherwise, number 2 is bigger than number 1. All right, so this is your output, and this was your condition. All right. What are these? Number 1 and number 2? These are your variables. Okay. So we need the computer, we need the program to start off with something, right? We needed to have a starting point. So usually a starting point would be like setting variables to a number. Okay. So for example now then right here, so on EQAO, this might be what you see. So ask, meaning the program is going to ask you, what is the first number? We set that first number to, we set that answer to this variable number 1. The computer is going to ask you again, what is the second number? You type in something, and they set it to variable number 2. And then it runs this program. All right, runs it, and then it will tell you either number 1 is bigger than number 2, or number 2 is bigger than number 1. So for example, let's say the computer asks you, what is the first number? Jasmine, give me any random number.
8.
8. Okay. And then Jennifer, give me a second number.
3.
3. So when I press enter, what is it going to say? What is going to be displayed? Yep.
Number 1 is greater than number 2.
Okay. More specifically, it won't say number 1 because it will be replaced with 8. Yeah. So your output in this case would be 8 is bigger than 3. All right. Because remember, these are variables that it's going to get replaced in the output. Okay. How are we doing so far? Okay. So you see how this is like there's not much math involved. It's more like the logic if you can follow along the codes. Okay. Okay, here's a loop example. So a loop example, this is example 2. Calculate the average number of points scored at a volleyball game this season. So first, you might get the computer to ask how many volleyball games were played this season. And you're going to set this variable, total games, to answer. Next, we need another variable called total score. Why do we need to set it to 0 at the beginning? Yep. Yeah, you're going to keep adding on, right? So you need a variable to keep track of your tally, basically. And then here, the loop, what we were talking about, the third type, the loop, repeat for, oh, my